Hello and welcome to News Review from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil. Joining me today is Catherine. Hello, Catherine.
Hello, Neil, and hello, everybody. Yes, Oscars news today. Chloe Zhao has become the first woman of colour and only the second woman ever to win the Best Director Oscar.
If you want to test yourself on any vocabulary that you hear in our programme today, there's a quiz on our website at bbclearningenglish.com. Now let's find out some more about that Oscar victory from this BBC News report.
Nomadland. Nomadland won Best Picture, and its lead, Frances McDormand, won her third Oscar for her portrayal of a widow and her journey through grief and the American West. Nomadland's director, Beijing-born Chloe Zhao, won her craft's highest accolade, becoming only the second woman to win that category in the award's 93-year history.
Yes, so the Oscars on Sunday night, and director Chloe Zhao, who was born in Beijing, won the Best Director Oscar. Now, she is the first woman of colour to win this award, and she's only the second woman in 93 years to win this particular Oscar. Now, Nomadland did really well at the Oscars. Not only did we get this one, but also it won in the Best Picture category, and Frances McDormand won the Best Actor award.
Okay, well, you've been looking around the various news websites and checking out what language is useful for talking about this story. What have you got?
We have glory, upsets and snubs.
Glory, upsets and snubs. Let's start with your first headline then, please.
Okay, so we are right here in the UK with the BBC. The headline, Oscars 2021, Nomadland, Anthony Hopkins and Daniel Kaluuya share glory.
Glory, praise and honour for a great achievement.
Yes, it's a noun. It's spelled G-L-O-R-Y, glory. Now, we often use this word with the in front of it. If you get the glory for something, you get all the praise, you get all the recognition. Everybody says how great you are. Remember that show you made, Neil, English for Cats?
Ah, the glory.
The glory. Everybody thought it was wonderful. Not. And everyone said how great it was and how wonderful you were. You were the man of the moment for a while. You got the glory for that wonderful achievement.
It was my moment of glory.
Yes, good phrase. If you have a moment of glory, or if something is your moment of glory, that's a time when you do something fantastic and everybody recognises it. Everyone says how great you are, how great the thing you did was. Yeah, your moment of glory.
Yes. Now, a common adjective that is connected to this word is glorious.
Yes, if something's glorious, it's wonderful, it's fantastic, it's amazing, it's super. Doesn't always have to be an achievement though. You can open your window one morning and look out and it'll be the weather can be glorious. It means absolutely wonderful. Not an achievement, weather's just weather, but when it's a really lovely day, you can say the weather is glorious.
Yeah, and if we want to say that something is probably a bit better than it really is.
Well, yes, you can glorify something, and this is often to say, as you say, and this happens a lot in advertising. Something's absolutely wonderful and fantastic, and it's actually maybe just average.
Yeah.
You can glorify something.
I went to a fast food outlet recently, and I went to buy the absolutely magnificent Glory Burger.
The Glory Burger, yes.
But actually it was just not a very nice piece of possibly beef with a kind of soggy bun and a splodge of ketchup. I think it had been glorified.
Yes, it doesn't sound very glorified. It doesn't sound very glorious. But if the promotion glorified it, or they did something to it and said it was better than it was, then yeah, you had a glorified burger.
I did indeed have a glorified burger.
How disappointing.
And the noun for that is glorification.
Yes, glorification. When you try to make something or you say something is better than it really is.
Okay, let's get a summary. We have a programme about a moment of sporting glory, don't we, Catherine?
Yes, we do. Rafa Nadal, his 20th Grand Slam win. If you want to know more about this story, just click the link.
Okay, let's have a look at our next headline, please.
And we're still in the UK, this time with The Guardian. The headline, Oscars 2021. No real upsets, but Chloe Zhao's Nomadland triumph is a wonderful coup.
Upsets. Occasions when someone wins something another person or team was expected to win.
Yes, okay, the spelling Upsets. This is a plural noun and it's pronounced upsets.
Upsets, as opposed to upsets.
Yes,
Because that's a different word.
It is. It's the same spelling, but it's a verb. In the verb form, it's to upset. And the adjective form, if you are upset, you're not happy about something. But in the noun form, it's an upset with the stress on the up.
Yeah, so an upset is when the team that is supposed to have won, or the person who is supposed to have won, doesn't win.
Exactly that.
And I'm afraid I'm going to mention our Brazilian followers might want to cover their eyes. I'm going to mention the World Cup 2014 when Brazil were playing against Germany in the semi-final. Everybody thought Brazil was going to win, and what happened?
It was a big upset.
They lost
7-1. Terrible, terrible. Big upset for Brazil. They were expected to win, but they lost by 6 goals. In the final score was 7-1 to Germany. All the Brazilian supporters were very upset about that upset.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. An upset there as an adjective meaning sad, basically.
Yeah.
But all of these words are connected, aren't they? They're all connected, and the key is that word set that you find in the middle.
Yes, exactly. And set means settled or secure. But if you upset something, you unsettle it or you make it not secure. So whether it's the noun, the verb or the adjective, that's the idea. Something that was secure and settled now isn't secure and settled, and that has an effect.
Yeah. So, for example, global warming has upset the climate.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that the climate is sad.
No, the climate isn't crying, no, but the climate has been badly affected. And probably, again, people are upset about the effects of the upset to the climate.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's get a summary. Now, you probably saw the word coup in that last headline, and we have a news review where we talked about the various uses of the word coup.
Yes, to find out more about how to use the word coup, just click the link to go to the programme.
Okay, let's have a look at our next headline, please.
Now we're in the USA with Variety, and the headline, Oscars 2021, the biggest snubs and surprises from Chadwick Boseman to Frances McDormand.
Snubs. Actions that insult someone by not including them.
Yes, the spelling this time, S-N-U-B-S. Snubs, it's a plural noun in this headline, but you can also use it as a verb. Snubs.
Yeah, so we're talking about when it's expected that somebody would be included at a certain event, for example, and they are not.
And they're not included, yeah, and it's always done or perceived to be an insult. So it's not a pleasant thing to do. To snub somebody is rude, it's not nice. To be snubbed, and that's the passive verb form. If you are snubbed, generally you will be angry and upset about it.
Yeah, like all of our vocabulary today, quite commonly used in the world of sport.
Yes, it can be. Yes, if somebody's left out of a team, for example, they can be snubbed. If somebody decides not to participate in a particular event, that can be seen as a snub. So if you don't invite somebody, you snub them. If you refuse an invitation, you snub them that way as well. And yeah, we see it in sporting events.
Yeah, and competitions in general. For example, the International Biscuit Eating Championship.
Well, what an upset that was. My goodness, tell us more, Neil.
Well, I mean, there was only really one obvious winner, wasn't there? Or, I mean,
Rob.
Participant even. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, Rob was not even invited to take part.
What a snub was that, my goodness. Yes, Rob was snubbed
Yeah.
by the International Biscuit Organising Body. But I think they'll invite him next year, though. I think they'll realise their mistake.
They will, but I think he's going to get his revenge by snubbing them.
Most probably, and I wouldn't blame him.
Now, more seriously, this word is actually quite journalistic, isn't it?
It is. It's nice and short. It's very dramatic. It's the stuff that, you know, gossip columns love, the idea of people snubbing each other, celebrity snubs. Not quite used in gossip in this sense, but it is very headline friendly, yes.
Yeah, but that's not to say that this can't be used for ordinary people. You don't have to be famous to snub or be snubbed.
Absolutely, yeah. You can snub somebody by not inviting them to drinks after work. You know, you can use it in everyday English very easily.
Okay, let's get a summary. Just time now then for a recap of our vocabulary, please, Catherine.
Yes, we had glory, praise and honour for a great achievement. We had upsets, occasions where someone wins something another person or team was expecting to win. And we had snubs, actions that insult someone by not including them.
You'll probably want to test yourself on this vocabulary, and you can do on our website at bbclearningenglish.com, and you can find us all over social media. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe and goodbye.
Goodbye.